What's up, guys? Welcome to Gear It Up Radio. My name is Marty White. I am the founder of Gear It Up, and today I just want to tell you the origin story of how Gear It Up came about. Once upon a time, I was 100 pounds overweight. I was in a job that I hated, and I can vividly remember every Friday being so excited whenever it became time to clock out and head home. But by the time I got home, I was just, I was sick. I was sick to my stomach because I knew on Monday I was going to have to go back. So, long story short, I can spare you the details today, but I ended up leaving my job. I lost that 100 pounds through the help of the Dolce diet and with the guidance of one of my first mentors, Mike Dolce, and ended up becoming a certified Dolce diet coach. And I knew that I wanted to help people do the same thing that I had done because I remember being so overweight, and I remember the despair and the depression and the lack of energy, and I had experienced the other side of that. It was like, now I'm in shape and I'm healthy, and I remembered what it was like to feel the other way, and I know how awesome I felt now. So I was like, man, I've got to help people. So what I did was, my wife and I, we flew out to Las Vegas. We became certified Dolce diet counselors, and we've been helping people lose weight, burn body fat, build functional muscle, and just improve their life dramatically. So this has been going on myself personally. I started training in MMA. I had a few MMA fights, and it had been a dream of mine for a long time, and I finally got to do it. And after my second fight, I tore my ACL, and I'd had knee surgeries prior to that. That my ACL injury was actually my third knee surgery, and at 30 years old, I knew that just the way that I treated it. I mean, it's a long backstory. I'm going to spare you those details today, but I know that my body was not going to be able to keep up with the intensity that you have to be an MMA fighter. Hats off to those guys. And certainly it was probably my toughness that backfired on me. I was training way too hard, way too often, especially for my age, because I felt like I needed to catch up. So I was down for a while. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had grown into this lifestyle of helping people lose weight. I was training people, counseling them through their diet, and then it was gone after ACL surgery, at least for a little while. Thank goodness for a few of my friends that let me help them still, that believed in me enough to allow me to train them, and they've radically transformed their lives through their health and fitness. And while I was down, I was learning how to grow my business online. With a friend of mine, John David Shackelford. He pointed me in the direction of Russell Brunson and .com Secrets and Expert Secrets, and so I got to thinking, it was like, Gear It Up is a lifestyle, and it does start with your health. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. If you want to be better at your job, your hobbies, your family, your marriage, underwater basket weaving, it doesn't matter what it is. If you want to be better at anything, you need to have your health on point. That is where it all starts. But after that, I was eating healthy. I was eating perfectly while I was down and out, recovering from ACL surgery. And again, I was working too hard to get back. And while nothing rattled loose, for sure it created other problems in my body. And I learned how to build my body back from scratch through that traumatic experience. So it's become a superpower of mine to be able to look at somebody and tell them exactly what stretches they need to do, exactly what exercise they need to do, how often. So through my own body crashing out on me completely, I learned how to rebuild myself. I had the nutritional foundation to support me the whole way. I really dug in and figured out all of these muscle imbalances and postural distortion syndromes, and that's what I did, and that's what I help people out with. But the problem I was running into was I was like, man, I used to be able to get out there and really chase down people. Luckily I am back to where I could do that now, but fortunately I found this online strategy with how to get people to come to me. And I had a thought. I was like, man, there are pretty much 5 goals I write down every single day without fail. Number 1 is fitness. Number 2 is finances. Number 3 is family. Number 4 is for your future. And number 5 is for you, or for me in this instance. So I believe the beauty is whenever you can start tying all of those things together. So I've learned some really valuable stuff in business, and I wanted to not just be a nutrition counselor and personal trainer anymore. I really wanted to help people gear up their lifestyle. So I come back to this ACL experience because it really shook me up. Like it set me down. It made me realize who I was as a person, and I wasn't who I thought I was, honestly. And now it's been my dream, my goal, my life's work that's led me up to this point is how do I take my people and make them to where they have the lifestyle that they want, the lifestyle that's on their terms, and to where they're not like, oh my God, I don't want to go back to work after the weekend, or it's just my job is killing me, which compounds and makes them get unhealthier and this, that, and the other, and it's a snowball effect. So while I was down, one of my favorite things to do is play Rainbow Six Siege. I've always been a Tom Clancy guy. I've always been a gamer. But I really ended up getting addicted to video games in the process. And I still play video games to this day. But I figured out this unique, weird little way to use that to my ability. I mentioned the 4U. Playing video games is one of the things I do for myself, because that's where a lot of my creativity comes from. Another story I could share with you was at one point I became just obsessed over getting my body back, and then I was obsessed over building the business, and then I was obsessed over playing Rainbow Six Siege, and I wouldn't do anything else. I would get so tunnel visioned on one thing. I would play one game for way too long, and it really messes you up. It messes me up. It messes everybody up. Whenever you play the same game for too long, you start getting mad. You would think that being sat down by an ACL injury and loving video games, it would almost be like a paradise, right? It was for a day or two, and then it slowly started to become something that I never intended. The smallest little things would set me off. They're all telltale signs, and I saw it in my friends, I saw it in me, and I had to back away. But like I said, I've developed this little weird thing that I've used to take the game that I love and use it to build my fitness. I use it to build my coaching. I use it to build my body back. I used it to build my mind back. I'm sure there's a word for it, scientifically speaking, on what I did. Like I kind of anchored myself with that game and used the strategies to build it back, because I really look up to the professional esports guys that play, the teams like Ints that just won, and Continuum, who I think they changed their names, and Penta and all those guys, and I was like, man, I really want to be as good as them. What do I need to do? So I started doing this little strategy. But anyway, back to the origin story. Gear It Up. I got the name from the game Gears of War. Gears of War used to be my favorite game. Me and my buddy Tim would play all the time, and my other buddy Josh and the rest of the crew. We would get on there. It was one of my first loves other than Tom Clancy games, and I know you can't see it. I got a Gears of War logo on my left shoulder, and it really influenced. It was like, well, what's the name of this business going to be? Well, at the time, it was like, oh, it was all about Gears of War. So I'm like, what if we geared it up? Like, we geared it up your life. We showed you how to make life more like a game and show you how to systematically improve everything: your health, your business, your family life, your future, and just tie it all together. So that's what Gear It Up is. That's what I'm all about. I'm a gamer through and through. You can think whatever you want to think about that. I still play video games every day. I eat healthy every day. I work on my business every day, and my marriage and my relationship, and it's just, I've been pouring love into this for years, and it's paying off tremendously right now. So my goal, my dream is to find people that are just like me, that were in that situation that I was in, and help pull them up and help gear it up their lifestyle. So that's my message for you today, guys. It's a little long-winded. This is just a short little introduction. Let me know what you want me to talk about. You know, I don't like to talk about myself, but I got nothing else to do at this point right here. But ask me about nutrition. Ask me about working out. Ask me about how I'm building this online business. Ask me about my marriage, and or even if you're not married, just tips for a relationship with the rest of your family, your friends. Ask me about what I can do for you to help build your future, to help gear up your lifestyle, and ask me how you can use what's for you to do all those things too. It's something that I've spent a long time, put a lot of time and energy into figuring out, and it's my life's purpose, is to help someone just like you that's still listening to this right now do the same. So check out my links below. I have a few promo codes and offers and things like that, and just comment, let me know. I'll see y'all on the next episode. Y'all give me something to talk about.